What is up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today is the day that I'm going to be revealing my latest bike build to you guys. I'm so stoked on it. This is definitely the best bike I've ever had by far. From the ground up, I'm going to go over every single component. We're going to go over the rims I'm running right now. So if you clicked on the thumbnail, you notice that I'm running carbon rims. We'll talk a little bit more about that. I did have a previous video where I went over and compared the carbon rims to my current setup and a setup that I had about 12 or 13 years ago with some old Sun rims. So if you guys are interested in that video, the video will be linked in the end card screen. So without further ado, let's just check this beast out. Let's get an overall look at it, get a nice wide angle of it. Man, this thing looks awesome. This color turned out awesome. And if you guys are interested in seeing that video and how I did this, I'll put it at the end of this video as well. Wade is a G for picking out this. I mean, I know he said like a winter camo, some pink-esque. I always do mine to where they're just like brushed on paint, but it has like a wintry feel to it. And plus, since we're in October, pink is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, so I feel like it's a good pick. Good pick, Wade. So a lot of these parts are the same type of parts that I've run in previous bike checks. I did switch up a couple things, including the grips, and that's where we're gonna start right now. These are ODI soft long neck grips with Odyssey bar ends, and into the paint job that you see here, these are actually Snafu Jackson handlebars. I believe they're 9-inch rise or 925s. I'm a big fan of brakes, and not only for stopping, but I love doing like foo-fa-noos, tire taps, anything and everything with brakes. It also boosts your confidence like crazy. So I have an Odyssey medium lever. That thing's been with me for about 5 or 6 years. You can see that thing's got some wear on it. Odyssey detangler right there, little cables going on down. Moving on down, we have the Profile Mark Mulvol stem. This is the push stem. I believe this is 53 millimeter, and it is a top load stem. This thing is a beast. By far one of my favorite moves I ever made, going from a front load to a top load. Feels awesome. Moving on down from there, we have the Snafu Mobius gyro. I ended up using the same thing with the jet fuel from the previous bike to this one. I think it's a nice little touch. Same type of cables moving on down there. They are Odyssey detangler cables going on down to the back. But we're gonna stick up to the front for right now. Moving on further, these are Snafu magical forks that I use my same paint job on all the way down. But if you had a close eye, you do notice that bar end I have in that fork right there. That is to stop my shoe from getting sucked into the tire when I do any, high speed or high impact foot jam variations. Definitely takes a lot of abuse off of the foot for sure. These tires I've been living by for a while. These are the Eclaw Mirage tires. These are 2.4, and now we get to the real deal. These are the Alienation tubeless compatible carbon fiber rims. So beautiful, but they definitely have a stiffer feel, and they're so light. I mean, I cannot wait to really get some real time on these things. Moving on down to the pegs, these are the BSD Chris Kyle pegs. I'm not too sure the exact name. They have like a little smiley face on them when I first got them, and they are the XL version. This is the Profile Totem Hub. This is the Elite set. So it has like a hub guard on there to kind of keep it well protected. I run titanium spokes as well on the rims to make for a stiffer feel, not necessarily to save on weight. So inside the tires, I run Tubolito tubes, and my boy Krusty right here is capping it off. This thing's been with me for like 10 or 11 years. It's got some wear. Now moving on to the centerpiece, this is a custom frame made by Mike Laird. All my dimensions are to spec from previous frames that I used to have through different companies I rode for, and his signature frame that I used to ride through Hyper. This is by far my favorite frame. Plus you can do custom bridges, and I know not a lot of you guys will be able to tell there, but that's Mario. That's his mustache, and it kind of looks like Cookie Monster at the same time. Getting to the cushion right here, this is a Snafu Seat. Not too sure the name. I thought it was Scotty's signature seat. Could be wrong, but this thing is definitely my favorite go-to. I mean, I don't think I've ever had a tear in any of these. I've had like 3 of them, and I've only switched them out just because, new bikes, you got to keep everything fresh and new. This is Snafu's version of the pivotal seat post. Not too sure what they call it, but I'm pretty sure they only got one of them on their website. This is a very, very important piece right here. Profile Racing's Galaxy sprocket with Profile Racing's column cranks and Alienation's foothold pedals. This is an amazing setup right here. I mean, super strong, 22 millimeter cranks. When I say 22 millimeter, I'm not talking about the length, I'm talking about the actual spindle. So the strength there is basically what you want to get out of your crank setup. A 22 millimeter spindle is a go-to, especially if you're trying to go and jump stuff to flat and you want that extra support. The chain is a Shadow Supreme chain. I'm pretty sure it's V2. This thing's held up really well. and it's got a little bit of rust to it. This is probably one of the old keepsakes from my last bike. Also, if you guys are looking for a sweet kickstand that also dubs as a helmet, a 888 certified sweat saver will do the job. I've got the links in the description to be able to get you there, and I got new stickers for my channel. There's one of them right there. Bunch of new ones dropping weekly. This is one for $2, two for $5, and I'm gonna be doing a variety pack for $10. Also, before you start getting all sensitive about the play on words right there, it's just a play on words. It's all fun, okay? It's all fun. Don't be salty. Back to the bike check. All right, now moving to the brake system. I have been living by these Odyssey Springfields. Super cheap, really easy to put on, easy to take off. One spring is all it takes. Same thing as the front, the Claw Mirage tire, 2.4 foldable, the Alienation carbon fiber rims, which are tubeless compatible, which we will be revisiting here very, very soon. I did do a tubeless video on their other set of wheels in a previous video, and we will be revisiting that. Titanium spokes all the way around, Profile Elite rear hub, left-hand drive, titanium driver. This thing is a beast. Same peg as the front. These are the BSD Chris Kyle pegs, XLs. I've never had a problem with them. These are probably my favorite pegs. Now this is where we get to kind of a juicy part. So these rims came with these brake pads. I ended up using the clear eClaw brake pads that I have because these brake pads, the actual threaded section is way too short to be able to work in this frame. This frame is made for a tire that could be as wide as 2.5. But I think these brake pads are only made for like race frames that have a very narrow back end for very narrow tires. So I'm gonna have to be on the lookout for another set of brake pads that is specifically made for carbon fiber rims. All right, guys, that is my current setup. I'm so stoked on it. Cannot wait to get some seat time on this bad boy and get some real feedback on those Alienation carbon fiber rims to see if they're actually really worth it, not only price-wise, but is BMX Freestyle ready for carbon fiber parts? I personally think so. The next tests we see on these bad boys are gonna be Tubelito tubes versus tubeless compatible on this setup. So if you guys have any suggestions, future videos, put them in the comments below. If you guys are new around here, I upload pretty much daily now. And if you guys are into any of those stickers, link in the description below, the little PayPal address. PayPal some money with a little note saying what stickers you want, how many, and I'll get them out to you. New merch line is also in the description below. Super stoked on it, uploading new stuff pretty much daily, weekly. Either way, new stuff. If you guys want to support the channel, that's great. So with that being said, if you guys like this video, drop a like. If you love it, hit the subscribe button, and I'll catch you in the next one.